Peterbilt. I believe it's a 587 2014 model, and he's telling me that sometimes the cooler, or the AC, I call it the cooler, but the air conditioner only works on one speed, and sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't, and then the one in the sleeper doesn't work at all, or sometimes it'll come on. But I'll address that. But something I did notice is that when you turn this, it doesn't really feel like there's any kind of click, 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 like 1, 2, 3, 4 type thing. And if you notice when you bring this off, that little piece in there is kind of broke. So I've got a specialty tool that I have for these, and it's a pair of needle nose, but they've been filed down. So I'm going to turn this little piece in here and see if it don't make it faster. We already know we're going to replace this thing because the little dial here is broke. The little fitting that holds it in there is kind of just not good anymore. So we already know we're going to replace this. So all I'm doing right now is just trying to determine whether or not this has anything to do with anything about it blowing only on one speed. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can see how it, let me put the camera a little closer maybe. Maybe you can hear the air come out when I turn this just a little bit. And then it just cuts off right there, but I think that's just no good inside here. So we already know we're going to replace this thing, which I kind of figured. That's probably high. And you got in the middle moves, kind of like a key in there where it's got to move a certain way. And that's off because it just turned the AC off. There, it's on. Anyway, that's high, but it won't stay there. As far as the back, I don't know. I'll look into maybe a fuse or something. I'll get into that. It isn't very cold, I can tell you that. Here, roll the windows and see what it does. Yeah, it's not very cold at all. You can probably hear that now, or if I turn it in here, I got to kind of force it, but what happens is that on some of these trucks, and a lot of them, this metal piece wears out this plastic little dial inside here, and it just free turns in there, and then nothing works. So you just, and there's no way to service that, so you're just gonna have to replace the whole dimoflachi here. But I've noticed that the AC isn't very cold either. I don't know if it's low on Freon or what, but it ain't doing very much. Even on high with the AC blowing full blast. Let me turn it on here. Yeah, we're still not doing very much air. The AC or the compressor out there is working, so I have to pull that out, the HVAC part out, and see if that blend door actuator is any good. It's doing what it's supposed to. So we're not getting any cold air at all. Then, I mean, you can hardly even feel anything. That seems to be like it's low or something. You can feel a little bit of cold air. Nothing extravagant. What about on defrost? Pretty much the same thing. There's no cold air at all. So, the actuator seems to be, I mean, not the blend door actuator. I'm talking about the, well, maybe that's what it's called, the blend door, where the heater and the AC, you know, are in there, and that door that comes back and forth to either one of them. That's what this operates right here. So I'll have to pull that HVAC system out, the deal, and turn this and see if the actuators even do anything. So we know we're going to replace this thing here, so it's chewed up pretty well. Alright, well anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get this part replaced, and if anybody's needing to know, this is a 2014 587 Pete, and there's the part number for it, that Q216008. They're fairly pricey, so just be prepared for that. You might be able to find one on eBay or what have you, but we're going to go grab one of these and get it put in, and then try to address the why the sleeper isn't coming on, but I can't do anything more until I get this part taken care of, and hopefully that pretty well deals with everything. Sometimes one part can, you know, fix everything, so I already called the customer and got approval, so we're going to go ahead and move on. So I'll be back with you here in a bit. I'm trying to get these parts apart, rather. It looks like it's fairly well, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like it's fairly well cooked, and you can see really on the back side of this thing too, where it's just been, it's pretty well nuked inside there. And my fear is, because I'm having trouble getting it apart, is that these two pieces have bonded together, which I hope not the case. It ain't gonna be no fun rewiring all that or redoing it all. So I'm gonna try to get these parts apart. Because he did say that sometimes it comes on and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm gonna have to get a pair of channel locks or something. It seems like it kind of melted themselves together or something, I don't know. That's what it feels like. Well, destruction time, I guess. I don't like using violence a lot, but I will if I have to. Here we go, I got that part. Yeah, you can see it's pretty well cooked inside. Let me get you guys to see it here. You see that part's pretty well corroded up, been shorted a couple of times. And then you got this piece here, it's just, that's pretty much why nothing worked. So, my fear is that these two pieces have welded themselves together, so this could be quite an ordeal. So seems like they pretty well welded themselves together. Never a good thing. So we may end up rewiring this whole dang thing. Unless we can track the wires back to the back, which I doubt, and it just plugs in somewhere back there. And I'm going to try to do is separate little by little and try to salvage this black piece right here. This is what plugs in. This right here is going to come with a new one. So what I'd really like to try to do is get it to come apart somehow. Let me go get another pair of channel locks. Worst case scenario is it'll pop a fuse. So themselves together. Been that way for a while, looks like. Well, I don't think it's going to come apart. But I do want to get in there and see what I can see. So I might just try to start tearing it apart little by little. I wonder what I can use to cut that out. I don't know if that loosened it up any or not, but we'll find out here in just a minute. inside of that looks like. I don't know if it's going to be salvageable or not. And here's what the other piece looks like. I tried to save as much as I could, but I got a feeling we're going to end up rewiring this whole thing. So we're back. We got parts here, but I bought some new these little connector elements to replace these, and the only thing they didn't have was this plastic piece. So what I did go ahead and order it, but who knows, it said it'll be Monday before it gets in, but we'll see about Tuesday or Wednesday. I might end up taking all this off and just rewiring it. I don't know how well it's going to work out or not, but I might just try to plug it in and see what happens, but if it'll even potentially come on. Anyway, there's the new part. And it's not cheap, just for the record. So if you go to buy one, it ain't pleasant. But I am just going to see if it'll potentially go in there at all. If not, I'm going to have to rewire it real quick. See, now all the heat or cycles come on. There's low, or 1, and then 2, 3, and then high. So we're going to start it up and see if the AC don't do nothing different. Now we got some cool air coming out of there. I'll get my thermostat out here in just a minute. I want to see how well it cools off. It'll be a temporary thing because I got this part coming in, and I'll let the customer know, you know, what's going on. As soon as that plastic piece comes in, I'll come over and we'll tear this wiring apart and put the new elements in there and go from there. We're still not very cold. Low on Freon or what's the story, but it's not real amazing cold. I may have to hook up my hoses to it and see what kind of Freon I got. That ain't very cold at all. but we're not cold. I mean, it should be good and cold out of there, so I don't think it's going to be an electrical issue. I think it just might be a freon issue. I don't know what's going on with the sleeper yet. Seems like that door, the heat and all that's not doing what it's supposed to, but I do want to see if there's got some kind of cold air in there. Now that we got this part done, it'd be suspect for the actuator, the blend door actuator for the hot and cold to not be functioning properly. Here's the relay coming on for the AC over there. So let me pull the hood and get that opened up. Seems like all the AC components are working properly. We've got condensation here. The pipe's good and cold. And then when you take this little area right here off, see if I can get it off now. This all is really good and cold when you're running the truck. And I stuck my thermometer in here and it gets down to pretty decently cold. So my suspicions is that the blend door, the actuator is not working. If that's the case, I've got to take this component all off of here in order to find that out, but we'll see. So before I get too antsy, I am going to go through this fuse panel just to see what I can see. There's no door to it or anything. I mean, nothing that tells you what anything is, unfortunately. So I've got to guess, but I'm just going to start pulling some fuses and see if anything's out of whack. I don't know what that's about or what it's for. So we're just going to start at the bottom and see what happens, I guess. So there's one that's blown. It's a 10 amp. So let me go get my fuses. I don't know what it goes to, but we'll see. So we're going to put a 10 amp back in there. And there's a couple of missing ones here. I don't know what that's about, but I'd be curious to. Let me go ahead and just finish doing this. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a blown fuse based on that, the way that thing was nuked. I'm sure it was shorting out somewhere or something. I don't know. So I'm going to go ahead and start it up and just get another fuse and see if something does change. I'm going to use go ahead and go with a 20 amp just for the hell of it. So that blown fuse that I put in there didn't do any changes as far as that goes, but let me see what else I can come up with here. What I'm listening for, I have all the HVAC controls on out in the back of the sleeper. So that's kind of what I'm listening for. There's some kind of change back there. I have no way of knowing what's what. So. Here's something clicking back there. I don't know what it is. We're going to see if it's not. Something AC. 10 amp fuse, the new one we put in, is blown from right there, so whatever that is. So now we have power again on that. And on those we do again, so. I don't think it's going to be anything to do with fuses back there. I'll have to see if there's power getting to it. So we put 3 pounds Freon in it. It was doing like 90 or 80 degrees. It wasn't doing anything. So I may have to put another, it seemed like it didn't have very much Freon in it. It might have a leak somewhere, but I was just told to do a Freon shot, and they'll deal with the, he's going to go on vacation I guess in a week. So I was just told to do a Freon shot, charge it up, and he's got 1 day to run, so that's what we're going to do. But anyway, I've got it down here to 50 degrees, or 50 something. I think I'm going to put another half a pound in there and see if I can get it down a little bit more. But that was our issue as far as the reason anything didn't work up here was this thing was just pretty well nuked. I did tell him about the back part of here. As soon as that part comes in on Monday, he'll be on vacation, so it'll work out perfect. I'll come in here and and install that new deal. I'll reroute or I'll redo the wires and everything, and it'll be all pretty much new in there. So anyway, we're gonna go put another. Let that fan kick off here. It calls for like 3.6 pounds. That's about what we put in it. Trying to get a good reading here. It's just below that 54 degrees. I mean, it's 95 degrees outside right now, so that's pretty healthy. When he gets going down the road, it'll probably cool off even more. So I'd say for this. So what we ended up doing is putting in a new this HVAC control deal, and like I said, I still have to wire up the deal, but for now it'll get him by so he doesn't suffocate. I mean, nobody can sleep in this. You can see what the temperature is in the truck anyway. 97 degrees. So, you know, if nothing else, we'll have to get another. I'm suspecting that the back is the same thing as this. So, came in to see what's up with this sleeper on this deal here, and it looks like there's a sock or something stuck up in the motor here. So, I'm going to pull that out and see if I do want to hook up a power probe on this motor just to see if it's even worth a darn. Let's try that again. The air coming out of there is good and cold. I can feel it in this tube over here. According to that, it says 3 volts, but I don't always trust this one here. I don't really care for this meter for whatever reason. I like my other one. I just don't have the battery to put it, or have the battery put in it. It's a 9-volt battery. But that's 8 volts. I don't think that's going to be enough to turn that motor on. Turn this off. Let's thing over here. See that condensation right here from the AC? It's good and cold, so we know we got Freon coming back to here. Now we got to figure out what the his hell's going on with the. That's 6 something, so it hasn't changed any. There's 8 something. 828. I'm gonna try that one more time. It's 557. Well, we were able to locate a fuse panel back here, so let's just see what we can find. Look, it even has a little thing on there. How nice is that? The HVAC, we're going to go to 15 immediately, which is that bad boy right there. And lo and behold, she's blown. So, what we have here is a brand new state-of-the-art 15 amp. Let's see what else it looks as you can hear, got a fan going there. That's all it was, just a fuse, which is pretty good. I always kind of live by that. Don't underestimate simplicity. And I'm usually pretty around with it. Also at 15 amps, so we put a 15 amp in there. And she's just going like crazy. Makes me wonder though if that socket has something to do with being in there. Pretty good amount of deal there. So let's see what she feels like. Yeah, now we got nice good cold air coming out of that vent. So I think we're going to be alright. Customer will be happy. Now she lights up real nice. And this one's different than the other one because it doesn't have the defrost and all that, but I suspected this at first, but I wanted to kind of go back with power. I mean, if the fan works and the thermostat clicks on, so, but anyway, customer will be happy. So, I was going to be done earlier, but I contacted the customer and he asked me to look into the sleeper issue, so we went ahead and came back at it, but we're all good to go now. So we're going to go ahead and call her done and wrap it up and move on to the next job, this time for sure. So see y'all later. there she is, just sitting on the holders. Not quite a finished product yet, but I've still got to drill the holes for the box and whatnot, but she's in there pretty good. So I am probably going to put some kind of support between here and the box, or at least on the bottom side of that, to compensate for the front weight. But I think she'll be alright. Same thing on this one. So that's with the aluminum rails on, and like I said, we'll put something in here to make it where that'll pivot. We still got to mount our bar there to make that one piece, and then that'll just twist out of there. I've got to do a little bit of adjustment on this door to get it to suck up in there, this little space right there. But there's an adjustment on that lock on the box itself that'll keep that. But I kind of figured that was going to happen. And then that'll take care of that little space that's sitting out right there. Once you suck that door in, it'll be pretty well flush. The bottom has got plenty of room, but I had to make it where the top is really what mattered. The bottom was never an issue, but this was almost exactly 24 inches, so it was right on the money as far as that goes. But the skirting will sit up in there real nice. But I'm going to drill the holes to mount that box so that it's pretty well, it ain't going nowhere. Well, tomorrow's another day. It's almost midnight right now, so we're gonna shut her down and come back to it tomorrow. So I got a busy day tomorrow. I got a brake job and a speedometer and all kinds of good stuff, so we'll come back to this tomorrow night.